Okay, everyone. Welcome back to another video. I will be editing this on YouTube.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I've seen YouTubers play it. I haven't seen full gameplay. I've seen that one episode, so I kind of wanted to play it. Okay, I speak English. No. I have no clue what this game's about. I only know it's apparently confusing or something. Please suggest it's loaded. No, it's fine. Whoa, that's kind of... It's like an infinite... It's like recording your own screen on OBS. Okay, what up? Language subtitles.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day.
I reckon I could have Fortnite 120 FPS on my computer.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
That's amazing that he's happy.
And then one day,
Oh, my
something
phone's
very
right next to me.
peculiar
Holy crap, I'm blind.
something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, I like the... This feels actually nice to play. Okay, hold on. What do we have here? What's that? It's documents. Okay. Let me play some games. Okay, so that's crouch.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah,
Stanley decided to go to
pretty
the
good.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so that's opening doors. So that's someone else's thing. How do you run?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Alrighty. This game really holding my hand. Okay, where do I go? I want to see if there's any like collectibles or anything in this game. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. What's this?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips
Feeling a
for
wave
not
of
getting
disbelief,
fired.
Stanley decided to
that's
go up
excellent.
to his boss's office,
I might need
hoping
that.
he might find an answer there. Feeling that Stanley was still just sitting in the
Okay,
broom
dude,
closet.
how
He
rude.
wasn't even coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't know why my controller feels weird. Okay. It's my good one as well. Okay. Hold on. What if I... Did he say go up or down? Here. I'm gonna go down. What if I
But
just
Stanley
left?
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
Okay,
And
we're
as
having a
Stanley pondered
psychological
this, he
dream.
began to make other strange observations. For
Yeah.
example, why couldn't he
Okay,
see his
hold on, never
feet
mind.
when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No,
Yeah,
Stanley said to
okay,
himself,
we're
this is
definitely having a
all too
psychological
strange, this
dream.
can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream."
100%, this ain't real life.
What
Can
relief Stanley
confirm, I
felt
wouldn't.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life
you have
is
the most
normal.
boring job ever.
I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay. Don't know if we're still dreaming
Stanley
or not.
began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Well, this is
It was
going
comforting
on
to
in
think
this
this,
game.
and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career,
he was just
and
seeing
by
stuff.
extension, the rest of her life.
It's
She had no
excellent.
time for this,
He
so it was
was running around your life. And that's the
she
car.
stood there,
That's the car right
staring
there
down
that
at the
he's been
body.
seeing.
And then she turned and ran.
I'm guessing that's the car. Yeah, that's probably dead, to be honest. Okay, so wait, what? We're Stanley again. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so we're playing this again, are we? Maybe we choose the other options. See what happens. It's like different endings and all that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
We're gonna go
this
this
was
one.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I read about this. The game's all about choice and all that, so you have to make your own decisions. You don't have to follow the right decision. What is that? That door's open. No, I don't want to do it in there, so I'm my own thing.
Yes,
Oh wait, no, you're
truly
probably
a
right,
real
because then it makes me not crazy. It's very nice, very fancy. Excuse me? Exclusive bathroom. Oh, right, that's interesting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This place is built like a simulation. Okay, I'm guessing we go this way. It's the only way we can go, right? What's this way? Yeah, it's the only way we can go. Loading. Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, escape. Should the game really be like trying to trick you into doing stuff? Nah, we don't go that way. But is this into our head the best option?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It's just highly illegal, I think. You can't have this set up, can you?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy,
I don't know if we're dreaming
sad,
or not.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, well, we'll turn it off then.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine!
Yes.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Wait, what do you mean I killed everyone?
Where had
Isn't it
his
mind control?
co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight
Isn't it
streamed
for
into
beating
the
it in like
chamber,
4 minutes?
he realized none of
try
this
and
mattered
just
to him,
speedrun that.
for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to
How did
understand,
I kill everyone?
but to let go.
What's that for?
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever
This is
life
nice.
he lives,
Isn't it the
will be
GTA?
his.
This looks like GTA.
And that was all he needed
This
to
looks like
know.
part of
It was
GTA
perhaps
I've been
the
to.
only thing worth knowing.
Oh yeah, I
Stanley
was gonna
stepped
say, I don't
through
think I
the open
did.
door.
Let me get through. Let me freaking get through.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
I've been in
Feeling of
GTA before.
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Okay, you're now in a simulation. You're gonna have to platinum this game. Okay, hold on. Trophy description, replace this. Quit the game and start it again. I'm not doing that because I'll close the stream. Play Stanley Parable in the entire duration of a Tuesday.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
I'm gonna
and
choose the
Stanley knew it
escape.
perfectly
Actually,
well.
I'm gonna keep-
Perhaps he wanted to
I'm gonna
stop
try
by the
this.
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not sure, but that's her, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
So this is my girl.
Right. Okay, there we go.
This one's my
All right,
girl.
now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Oh, what?
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a
That
loving
is
wife? You want to commit their life to
crazy.
you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 2427. Press. Is your
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Oh, okay. No,
Now
don't
he's
listen to
pushing a
him.
button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
How dare you? No, what if we don't press it? Please press. See, what if we just don't press it? My cat's looking at me weirdly. Hey, Silas. What if we just don't press it? What if we press this instead?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Freaking mannequin.
and so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he
That is
imagined that
wild
one
that you
day while at
fantasize about
work,
your job.
he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Okay, press X to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Insane.
Down one path lay an
How do you,
enormous
imagine you work at
round
Macca's and you
with
start
monitors and
fantasizing about
mind
that.
controls.
You
Down
need
another
help
was
at
a
that
yellow
point. You
line
need
that
very
weaved
much
in
help.
many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful
Happen to
fantasy,
me not having
and
a
so
girl
in
or
his
anything
head
like
he
that. Do I just
relived it
magically
again,
have
and
a
then
kid?
again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the
Dude,
same buttons he
this
always
guy
has.
needs
Nothing has
mental help.
changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets.
This
The
reminds me of
more
that
he
game.
forgets which life
Called
is the real
Superliminal.
one.
It's giving me that vibes.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can
Looks
never
like you're
be
stuck
anything
in like a
but an
simulation
observer. That as
thing.
long as he remains
Dream,
here,
your
he's slowly killing
psychological
himself.
problems.
But he won't listen to me. He won't
What?
stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, no, I'm good, Sucker. I'm good.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So he really does die. Hold on.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I can't do it. Wait, let's stop.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal
Wait, we didn't
jaws.
narrate now.
In a
What?
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh, so he was dead this whole time? And we're just looping around in our thoughts of the only memory that we've had left. Like, the only memory that, so the only day memory, is like the day, the only memory we have is like, oh, this is, so he's been, see, I'm not too into the psychological stuff as much, but it's always fun to play these games. Hold on. Guess we gotta exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
Turn off my PlayStation.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Should we? Hold on. I want to see what happens. Wait, what? Can we
All
go
of his
back?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided...
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That's crazy.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay, now let's
Can
find
you
out.
see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
So just put us back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the...
There's no other endings. We've done everything we could. Okay. Thoughts on game? Crazy confusing. Don't even know what I just played. Guy died obviously at the start of the game. Now he's processing through thoughts and crap like that. Psychological stuff I'm not really too into much because it's half the time it's like the whole time I thought it was like, I knew it was sort of like a dream, but the stuff that was happening. But yeah, it's just very confusing. But gameplay was alright, I didn't mind it, it was a pretty good game. So yeah, look out for Last of Us Grounded Mode Part 1. Tonight we'll be playing that. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you for watching.